Is Samsung finally launching the Galaxy Z Flip FE alongside the Z Flip 7? After months of back-and-forth leaks, a fresh rumor suggests that the Galaxy Z Flip FE, Samsung's more affordable foldable, might actually make its debut at the same time as the Z Flip 7. And if this turns out to be true, Samsung's July Unpacked event could be a lot more exciting than expected. Now, originally, many thought Samsung would hold off on the fan edition of its foldable. The idea was that the Galaxy Z Flip FE would launch later, just like how the Galaxy S FE models are usually released months after their flagship versions. This delay strategy helps Samsung avoid cutting into the sales of its higher-priced models, but a new leak is now changing that story. According to Max Jambor, a trusted tipster in the tech space, the Z Flip FE is being produced alongside the Z Flip 7 and Z Fold 7, and that's an interesting clue. If Samsung is manufacturing these devices together, it makes sense that they're getting ready to launch them together too. The leak also mentions that live demo units for these foldables have already entered production. That usually happens when phones are being prepped to hit stores soon after their official launch. So if this info is accurate, we might actually see the Z Flip FE on shelves as early as July. Still, we have to remember that Samsung hasn't officially announced anything yet. The rumored Unpacked event in early July is based purely on leaks for now. But we're getting close, so more confirmed details should start to come out soon. What we know so far about the Z Flip FE is that it's expected to be a cheaper version of last year's Galaxy Z Flip 6. Whether it ends up being called the Z Flip FE, Z Flip 7 FE, or even Z Flip X, the core idea remains the same. It's a clamshell foldable with a slightly lower price point, probably cutting a few premium features while keeping the folding experience. As for the price, no solid numbers have leaked yet, but it's safe to expect the FE version to be at least a couple $100 cheaper than the standard Flip 7. This would make it one of the most affordable foldables on the market, especially compared to other brands. And when it comes to competition, there's not much. The only real rival is the cheaper Motorola Razr variant, which also targets users who want a foldable phone without paying top dollar. But apart from that, Samsung could have the budget foldable space all to itself if the Z Flip FE launches soon. It's also important to note that, despite being an FE model, the Flip FE is still expected to have a powerful processor. While we don't know the exact chipset yet, Samsung usually doesn't go too far back when choosing chips for its FE phones. That means decent performance is still on the table. All this tells us that Samsung is taking foldables seriously, not just for premium users, but for more people in general. If the Z Flip FE really does launch in July, it could be a huge step in making foldables more mainstream. So, what do you think? Would you be interested in a cheaper foldable phone if it looked good and performed well? If you enjoyed this update and want more like it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for all the latest news, leaks, and insights from the tech world. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Would you pay over $3,000 for a foldable phone? Because Samsung's first tri-fold device is coming, and it won't be cheap. Rumors about a Samsung tri-fold phone have been floating around for a while, but now it looks like it's really happening. A recent leak just revealed that this new phone, possibly named the Galaxy G Fold, is set to launch sometime in the third quarter of this year. That would likely place it around July, right next to the release of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7, but don't get too excited just yet. This won't be a global launch. If the reports are accurate, the G Fold will only be available in South Korea and China at first. So if you're living in the United States or Europe, you might need to import it. And even if you manage to get your hands on one, there's a much bigger problem: the price. The Galaxy G Fold is rumored to cost between $3,000 and $3,500. That's about the same price as Huawei's Mate XT, another tri-fold phone that came out last year. With this kind of cost, Samsung's new foldable clearly isn't aimed at everyday users. It's meant for a very niche market, the kind of people who love being the first to try bold new tech and don't mind paying top dollar for it. So what makes this phone special? A tri-fold design means the screen folds in 3 sections, creating something close to a tablet when fully opened. That could make it great for people who need extra screen space on the go, maybe for work, multitasking, or content creation. It's a unique concept that sets it apart from anything currently on the market, especially outside China. We still don't know everything about the G Fold specs, but a few things have leaked. One big letdown might be charging speed. Right. Now it looks like Samsung is sticking to 25-watt wired charging, which is the same as some of their mid-range phones. That's kind of a letdown, especially in 2025, when other brands are pushing much faster charging. To put that in perspective, the Huawei Mate X-T offers 66-watt wired and 50-watt wireless charging. Even Samsung's own Galaxy S25 Ultra goes up to 45 watts, and people already think that's too slow. So if you were hoping for a fast-charging beast, this phone might not deliver. What about cameras? There's talk that Samsung might reuse the camera setup from the Z Fold 6 Special Edition. That means we could see a triple lens system with a 200-megapixel main sensor, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto. If true, this would actually give Samsung a serious advantage over Huawei, especially in photo quality. Still, this is all early info, and a lot can change before the final product hits shelves. With such a high price tag and limited release, the Galaxy G Fold probably won't be a big mainstream hit, but it does show how far Samsung is willing to go to stay on top of the foldable game. More leaks will likely surface in the coming weeks, especially as the July launch window gets closer. So if you're curious about Samsung's Tri-Fold or just want to see what this wild design looks like in real life, stay tuned, and if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you all the latest Samsung leaks, releases, and tech news you care about. Samsung could be making a move that might not sit well with a lot of users. A new report from South Korea suggests that the Galaxy S26 series may not follow the same processor strategy as the Galaxy S25 lineup. If you were happy that every Galaxy S25 model used the same fast Snapdragon chip, you might not like what's coming next. Right now, the Galaxy S25 series offers a uniform experience. No matter where you buy the phone, you get the same powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy processor. This made things easy for users and gave everyone the same level of performance. But according to this new leak, Samsung might return to using two different chips depending on your region. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will likely continue using Snapdragon across all markets, which is great. However, the regular Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus might be split between Snapdragon and Samsung's own Exynos 2600. If the report is accurate, users in countries like the US, South Korea, China, and Japan will get Snapdragon. Meanwhile, those in Europe and other global regions may receive the Exynos version instead. This strategy isn't new. Samsung has done this before. In the Galaxy S24 series, the Ultra had Snapdragon in every region, but the base S24 and S24 Plus models used Exynos in some markets. While Samsung has improved its Exynos chips over time, many users still feel that Snapdragon processors offer better speed, battery life, and efficiency. That's why the Galaxy S25 lineup was so well received. It gave all users the same hardware and performance, removing the usual regional differences. Bringing back the split-chip system might create confusion and disappointment again, especially if one version doesn't perform as well as the other. It's important to note that this isn't confirmed yet. Samsung reportedly tried to use the Exynos 2500 in the Galaxy S25 series, but production delays forced them to abandon that plan. If they've resolved those problems, they might finally go ahead with using the Exynos 2600 in the Galaxy S26 lineup. But it all depends on how reliable and competitive that chip turns out to be. Meanwhile, Samsung also seems to be preparing a new direction for its foldable phones. Reports say there will be two Galaxy Z Flip 7 models, one standard version and one Fan Edition or FE. Interestingly, both of these models are expected to run on Exynos chips no matter where you live. The cheaper Flip 7 FE will likely use the Exynos 2400, which powered some of the Galaxy S24 phones outside the US. The regular Flip 7 might come with the Exynos 2500, a chip that was originally intended for the S25 series. This could be a letdown. For fans in markets like the US or China, where Samsung typically uses Snapdragon in its premium phones, many users prefer Snapdragon because of its consistent performance,